Whether you're on Lakeshore Drive, at the Student Union, or just going to class, Greek letters can be seen throughout campus. Those letters are about to become more prevalent as LSU Greek life is set to celebrate a huge milestone.
What an awesome time in 27 to be Greek at LSU, or to be affiliated with any part of Greek life.
While she hasn't been around from its inception, Angela Guillory has been at the helm of Greek life for over a decade. During that time, she has overseen enormous change.
I see more unity amongst our students, amongst our organizations, our current students, particularly in the Palinate community, and I think that's helped foster a lot. It's kind of bled over into our IC and our NPC community also.
Today, Greek students make up 22% of LSU's overall student body, a number that has continued to rise over the years.
So to go from 14 to 22 in 10 years has been, I think, a tremendous feat, which shows the efforts of our staff, of our student leaders, of our student organizations, because whenever you care about something and you give care to something, people will see that standard of excellence and want to be a part of it.
The 150th anniversary comes at a time when Greek organizations are under immense scrutiny. Guillory, however, thinks the timing is good for them.
I really want this time to be all about the goodness, and so that hopefully we will be able to shed some great light on what's been accomplished at this great university with this great system.
The Greek community at LSU has certainly evolved since 1857, but their members have continued on the same foundation ever since.
I really love working with students who care about something bigger than themselves, and that is displayed every day 150% at LSU in Greek life.
Cups, cups, and more cups. What was once just a hobby for Haley Miller is now turning her a profit.
I thought it was just going to be for myself and my close friends, and then whenever I realized a lot of people didn't have the amount of paint pens that I had, then I could make money off of it.
The LSU junior has been decorating party cups since coming to college, but Greek events aren't the only occasion she makes them for.
I've done cups for preschoolers, high schoolers, for Sadie Hawkins dances, and then I've also done some for family vacations, like moms going on a beach trip, stuff like that.
Even when she is full with orders, Miller says painting party cups is a great way for her to blow off steam and be creative.
I paint cups and watch Netflix at the same time, so it's a study break. I'm always doing something with my hands, so I'm always working, painting, doing something crafty, so cups are a good outlet for that.
Miller may have stumbled upon this party cup business, but it is now paying off.
It's making me more money than my real job, but it's also on my own time. Like, I could do it at 10 at night or midnight if I have to, whereas my real on-campus job, I work at a lab too. I have to go in between classes before 5.
Whether it is at a date function, on spring break, or just around campus, the next party cup you see could very well be one of Miller's masterpieces.
If someone were to go up to someone else and say, "Oh my gosh, your cups are so good," I know that hopefully it was one of my cups. LSU's Dance Marathon executives and members meet regularly on campus to discuss upcoming events and fundraisers. This week, beating Bama for the kids. The man accused of killing an East Baton Rouge sheriff's deputy Saturday night has died. Brandon Wiley succumbed to a gunshot wound earlier last night. Wiley is believed to have shot and killed Sergeant Sean Anderson off of O'Neill Lane following a struggle with deputies. Anderson was called to Classic Cuts to question Wiley about the alleged rape of a 15-year-old girl. In a primetime White House address last night, President Trump unveiled his nominee to the nation's highest court, which begins what experts believe will be a contentious nomination process. Gorsuch is now expected to meet with both parties on Capitol Hill before the Senate Judiciary Committee holds confirmation hearings. The average time from nomination to approval is approximately 67 days. Since February 13th, legislators have debated on how they will go about fixing the deficit in the Louisiana budget.
Ideas have flown about how to and if they should use the rainy day fund to help close the gap.
Now the magic number for both sides of the aisle that is agreed on is $99 million. Still ahead with crawfish on the menu, see how one crustacean is being spared, and later a group of men walking for warriors. Crawfish season is so much more than peeling and boiling. It takes quite a process to get mud bugs from the water to your plate. Tiger TV's Blaise LaCour has details. Good evening. Tonight, LSU basketball has found their man. Earlier today, Will Wade was introduced as Johnny Jones' replacement in front of a packed student union. Wade spent the previous 2 seasons at VCU, leading the Rams to the NCAA tournament both years. Wade's contract details have not been released, but it is expected that the Clemson alum will receive a 6-year deal. Neil Gorsuch returns to Capitol Hill today for day 3 of his confirmation hearings. The judge is expected to field questions from Democrats after doing so for nearly 10 hours on Tuesday. Today's session will be shorter than the previous 2 days of testimony. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has called that any vote on Gorsuch's confirmation be delayed until the FBI completes their investigation of the Trump campaign's ties with Russia. The battle for funding Louisiana colleges and universities continues, and many students are worried about how they will afford school if there are more cuts to TOPS. I sat down with a member of the Louisiana legislature to discuss what is next for higher education. In international news, the latest reports show 4 dead, including a police officer, following a terror incident in London today. Britain's parliament is currently under lockdown, and an investigation into the incident has begun. Investigators say a suspect used a car to run over pedestrians, then attacked a police officer with a knife at the gates of Parliament. CBS's Tina Krause has the latest from London. North Korea conducted another missile launch overnight that, according to South Korean sources, failed almost immediately. The missile is said to have exploded just seconds after its launch. This test was one of many that have been conducted by North Korea recently. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, who is conducting meetings in Japan and South Korea this week, has said that all options are on the table if North Korea continues with nuclear tests. That is going to do it for us tonight. Be sure to keep up with us on social media and online at lsunow.com. I'm Johnston Von Springer. Thanks for watching Newsbeat. Good night.
Tonight on Newsbeat, the latest on Johnny Jones' future here at LSU.
A Cajun delicacy gets a second chance at life.
And healthcare takes center stage in Washington. All that and more. Newsbeat starts now. It is Thursday, March 9th. I'm Brett Hauser.
And I'm Laura Savannah-Christie. Thanks for joining us. As of now, LSU men's basketball coach Johnny Jones is still employed by the university.
Following the Tigers' SEC tournament loss to Mississippi State last night, rumors began to swirl as to when, not if, Jones would be let go. In what is expected to be their last game of the season, LSU basketball suffered a 27-point loss, their third to the Bulldogs this season alone.
Jones has been head coach since 2012, compiling a record of 90 and 72. The Tigers finished 13th in the conference this year, thanks in part to a 15-game losing streak earlier this season.
Following last night's loss, Jones acknowledged the disappointing season, saying, "I don't have any excuses about what happened this year. Shoot, I've got the keys driving the bus. It was a tough year for us."
Well, many in Baton Rouge citizens know about our heavy traffic problem. Perhaps the solution isn't more streets, but a different type of transportation. The group Bike Baton Rouge says that the city is becoming safer for biking. Reporter Madeline Adams has the story.
This week in politics, the battle over repealing and replacing Obamacare continues. The new health care bill released by Republicans is receiving criticism from both sides of the aisle. Earlier this week, the Congressional Budget Office released a report saying that replacing the Affordable Care Act could cause 24 million Americans to lose their health insurance. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi admits Obamacare isn't perfect, but thinks the GOP attempt to replace it won't work.
We believe that health care is a right, not for all, not a privilege for the few. We believe that the Affordable Care Act has been successful in meeting its goals of lowering cost, of expanding access, and improving benefits. Can we do better? Yes, and we'd like to do that in a bipartisan way. We invite the President and our colleagues to join us in that regard.
Yesterday, the FBI Director James Comey was on Capitol Hill to meet with the chairman and ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. In a classified setting, Comey briefed Senators Chuck Grassley and Dianne Feinstein on investigations into Russia's involvement in the 2016 election. Following the meeting, the two had very little to say about what exactly was discussed in the meeting. Comey is set to publicly testify before White House Intelligence Committee on Monday. The FBI director is expected to be asked questions regarding President Trump's baseless accusations that Trump Tower was wiretapped last year on direct orders from President Obama. Thus far, both Republicans and Democrats do not have any evidence to support Trump's claims. Trump will be meeting with German Chancellor Angela Merkel tomorrow after a massive winter storm forced Tuesday's planes to be canceled. The two leaders are expected to discuss a variety of issues, including Russia, immigration, and trade. That's all the time we have for politics today. Back to Michaela at the desk.
President Trump is wearing green one day early. On the eve of St. Patrick's Day, Trump welcomed Irish Prime Minister Enda Kenny to the White House. The two leaders met and discussed the impact that Brexit will have on Ireland as well as other topics. In honor of the wearing of the green holiday tomorrow, the two had a luncheon on Capitol Hill, and this was the first meeting between both of the two leaders.
We've had the opportunity to talk about issues about Ireland, issues about the United Kingdom, issues about Europe, the relationship between Ireland and the US, immigration, and a number of other matters.
Tomorrow may pose a tough choice for many Baton Rouge Catholics as St. Patrick's Day falls on a Friday during the Lenten season. Baton Rouge Bishop Robert Munich says that this year, meat will be allowed for the annual celebration. In a statement Wednesday, the bishop said, quote, "Those who choose to accept this dispensation are strongly encouraged to make another act of penance or charity."